Welcome along, good afternoon to you. We start with big breaking news. As you can see, James Savundra with me at the desk. James, welcome along to you. What can you tell us?
Very significant breaking news. Manchester City have confirmed they have reached agreement with Nottingham Forest to sign Eliot Anderson. He's completed a medical. He did that whilst on England duty, and the formalities of the move will be confirmed in due course following his return to England following the World Cup. It will be a British record deal worth £116 million, a fixed fee with no add-ons. He becomes the first signing of the post-Pep Guardiola era, Enzo Maresca's first signing. So a British record deal, a record deal for Manchester City as well, beating the £100 million they paid Aston Villa for Jack Grealish in 2021. So they confirmed they've reached an agreement with Nottingham Forest. We've known this over the course of the last few days, but what we're expecting is an announcement video. We're expecting there to be all the glitz and glamour that comes with an announcement the size of this to come after the World Cup when Eliot Anderson returns from England duty following the World Cup. So a very short statement from Manchester City today, just 3 paragraphs or so. We're expecting there'll be much more to come following England's exit from the World Cup. They'll be hoping that England do well at the World Cup. They've got players like Nico O'Reilly there. They've got Mark Gay there. And Eliot Anderson will return following England duty as a Manchester City player. Just the final formalities to be completed. But a reminder to reiterate, Manchester City confirming publicly today they have reached an agreement with Nottingham Forest for Eliot Anderson to become the British record transfer for £116 million.
Yeah, it might be a long wait. Hopefully England will win it, and it will be a long wait for Anderson to be officially unveiled. But the question is, it's a huge amount of money. How does he fit into Enzo Maresca's side? Because we're assuming he will fit in, but they've got some class central midfielders there.
They have, but there's a bit of a void there at Manchester City with some of the departures over the course of the last few weeks. Bernardo Silva departing, John Stones departing as well. Anderson seen as a player who can fill the void in many respects that Bernardo Silva leaves. Clearly slightly different players. He'll have the opportunity to potentially play alongside Rodri. Of course, there's been speculation around Rodri's future. Manchester City insists he's not for sale, but there is a need for central midfielders at the club. They feel like they've got the best one in the Premier League right now. When you look at his numbers last season at Nottingham Forest, it's very difficult to argue with that. Alongside Declan Rice, another £100 million midfielder himself. And Enzo Maresca wants to hit the ground running at Manchester City. The reason he's been appointed is they want a seamless transition from a decade of success under Pep Guardiola to success under Enzo Maresca, who knows the club very, very well, and he'll be delighted to bring in a player of this calibre. An extraordinary bit of business from Nottingham Forest as well. They did very well to bring him in from Newcastle. Newcastle fans will be absolutely disgusted the fact he departed when he did. He went on to have brilliant success with Nottingham Forest, kept them in the Premier League. They reached the semi-finals of the Europa League as well. He is now one of England's standout players, a certain starter for England. He'll look to be successful this summer, but this will be a memorable summer for Eliot Anderson because he could go on to win the World Cup and he will go on to become the most expensive British player in the history of the game.
Fascinating to see how it works in Manchester City with all the players they have, including Rodri. Will they play 2 Anderson and Rodri alongside each other? We shall see. It's pretty ominous for the rest. James, thank you very much for now. Now let's get the Nottingham Forest side of things. Kirsty Edwards is live at their training ground for us. Pictures of Anderson in the Forest shirt there. It's smashing the club record sale, Kirsty. Feels like good business for them, although I suppose difficult to replace.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the owner, Evangelos Marinakis, is never one who is keen to see his big key players leaving. We saw that last summer with Morgan Gibbs-White. However, I think the fee involved here and, you know, probably the players' wishes as well meant that it had to be done in the end, and it does represent a huge profit for Forest, so a great bit of business for them in that respect. They have released a statement, a short statement today, confirming that the agreement has been reached. They also go on to say that the necessary formalities will be completed in due course while they allow Eliot to concentrate on important things going on right now with England at that World Cup. They say the club will pay tribute to Eliot's outstanding contribution over the past 2 seasons at the appropriate time. Until then, they say everyone at Nottingham Forest wishes Eliot and the England squad every success for the remainder of the tournament. So he goes with the club's best wishes, and I've been speaking to fans here today at the City Ground outside the club shop to get their thoughts as well.
He's been our best player for the last couple of years, and we signed him from Newcastle, got a great deal from Newcastle, so to make that much money in a short period of time, great business. Gutted to see him leave, but he deserves the move, and we've got to spend the money wisely. We didn't spend it great, I don't think, last season so much, so we need to spend it wisely going forward, definitely, and I think we will. I trust Forest.
He's just like a generational player, isn't he? Fantastic to watch him at Forest, and I'm sure he'll do really well at Man City, just hopefully not against us.
Yeah, real big loss, but obviously there's money there, isn't there, to be made, and hopefully we'll get 2 good players for him. So, yeah, you've got to look at the positives, haven't you, really? Yeah.
So those fans seeing the positives of that money to spend for a new head coach, potentially, Kirsty. Speaking of which, what is the latest on Oliver Glasner?
Yeah, well, Oliver Glasner, of course, we saw the issues he had at Palace last season and his real frustration in terms of them selling off some of their best players, first Eze in the summer and then Gehi, of course, in January. And that's kind of been a big issue and a big reason for why he wanted to leave Palace. So he now comes, it seems, edging closer to Forest, a team that's just selling one of its key and biggest players. I think the difference is Glasner, if and when he comes here, will know he'll be coming with real plans in place to replace Eliot. I'm sure those discussions have been taking place in terms of the negotiations that have been going on. He will want to know the plans in terms of transfers for the summer. We do expect Glasner to sign what looks to be a 3-year deal. So the club moving ever closer to that. And of course, it all comes as a huge surprise. We was not expecting that statement yesterday, Vitor Pereira confirming his departure. It seemingly came as a huge surprise to him. He said he wasn't expecting it at all. He had, of course, been making his own plans for pre-season, a pre-season tour in Portugal, his own plans for the transfer window. He leaves, though, he says, without any bitterness, although he is very sad. So, yeah, a big shock yesterday. This has moved incredibly quickly. But, of course, these talks, these negotiations with Glasner will have been going on for some time, and I think that he is a man, as soon as he became available, that Forest would have been alerted very quickly, because we know the ambitions of the owner here. We know he wants to win silverware, and we've seen Glasner do that, haven't we? We've seen him do it on 3 occasions with Palace over the past couple of years. So very much looks to be the man who will be taking charge of Forest, but he'll be doing that without Eliot Anderson here, with that confirmation that agreement has been reached between Forest and Manchester City.
Fascinating. I just wonder if Glasner comes in, whether he'll take a look at his old player, Adam Wharton. We shall see how the dominoes fall in the next few days, Kirsty. Thank you very much for now. Well, Anderson becomes Manchester City's record signing at £116 million, taking that from Jack Grealish, and well ahead of the likes of Josko Gvardiol, Ruben Dias, Antoine Semenyo and Omar Mamouche. He's also now the most expensive British player in football history, £1 million more than Jude Bellingham's transfer from Borussia Dortmund to Real Madrid 3 years ago. Before that, the record was held by Jack Grealish and Gareth Bale.